First item on the agenda is to make recommendations for the storm sewer materials. The quotations were opened April 13th, and I believe Chad is here to go over those quotes and make a recommendation for us.
Yeah, actually less people bid this year on them too from the last couple of years. And a lot of them, their pricings are so varied. I talked to Brock White and that was why, because they can't guarantee their prices out far. And I know it always goes out a year, they try doing it, but I think that was why we had less bids this year for it. But, and then generally on this year's bid, everything was pretty much, county materials had the concrete aspect of it. And then I do believe Farrell had the rings, and then the other one had the pipe. There was no really big price difference in them this year for stuff compared to last year for that, but very limited. Like I said, there was 3 less bids this year, I do believe.
So what are your recommendations on here?
Kind of the highlighted in the yellow, which ones I will buy. Like I said, though, like I said, for the concrete, I'll get them from county, and then I don't have the final one. But the pro rings are from like, I do believe it's Farrell.
You can pick and choose.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them just didn't offer any bid, like county doesn't bid on my rings, so I'm kind of limited where I even get the stuff from. Because usually Brock White, I think might have did my rings last year and they just didn't give a bid, so I only had one bid to choose from.
So the concrete items, like you say, would be with county.
Yeah.
Farrell is for the HDPE pipe
Yeah.
for certain ones, and then you have on here for other ones for,
Yeah, they just didn't bid them on the other ones for some reason, I don't know why.
so then different sizes, you'll have to go to Ferguson?
Yep.
Okay.
And I usually always try getting the cheapest one on the thing there, whatever, but generally, yeah, like I said, I'll go with who received the bid, so.
So you have them highlighted here on the proposals on which, I don't know how we make that recommendation.
Could we just say, I approve going with the low bid for the individual products?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
Okay.
fine by me, yep, that's, yep.
Okay, that's my motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 2 was the 2018 Riverfront Redevelopment Project, Myron Construction, final payment. Now, this one's been hanging out here for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been working back and forth with ARC from Myron and the Parks Department, and there was some issues with the fountains and the programming, and they were flooding out. So Greg Fricks from the Parks Department's been working with the fountain manufacturer and believes they have that all worked out, and they are okay with making the final payment and releasing the retainage and just closing this contract out. So I guess I would make the recommendation then to approve.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. And we already had this booked as a payable at year end, so you don't have to charge it back to 2020. You can just pay it out of 2021. Thanks. Thanks.
Item number 3 was the 2021 Recycling of Roadway Pavement Project, PGA, final payment. I see this is the first payment too, and the final payment. The original contract was for $37,950. Looks like we must have went over the quantity by a little bit. Is that correct? So they must have crushed more than what we thought was there?
Yep.
And you're okay with this quantity?
Yep.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is discussion of possible action on a $450,000 developer demolition grant payment pursuant to the developers agreement with RJ Elm Properties LLC and Tax Increment District 8.
Yep, so we have a developers agreement for the reconstruction or redevelopment on the corner of Elm and 17th Avenue with Raleigh Lacray Development. And our developer agreement indicates that we can make a payment up to $450,000 for demolition work. The demolition work is complete. The inspections department has issued a certificate of completion for that. We have received lien waiver from the developer's contractor for the project, indicating that they've been paid in full. We are working on some of the final details, and we have received evidence of the developer payments for demolition. And so at this point, I am recommending that we pay $350,000 of the $450,000, and then we'll bring a final payment at a later date. So that's my motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We don't need to sign anything with that, okay.
No.
Item number 5 is discussion, and I think I'm going to pull this one because I don't, unless you guys have a better understanding of this one. I know Eric's not here and he was dealing with Bauman to get a number on that.
Oh, okay.
So I think, do we have a board next week? We'll just put it on next
Okay.
week's. I think this was just to add more to Bauman's, but I'm not really understanding from this what it is, so we'll bring that back.
Yep.
Pursuant to section 19.85D of the Wisconsin statutes, for the purpose of considering deliberating pre-qualification statements for the 2021 asphalt paving project, to vote to go into closed session. And also pursuant to the same section, to deliberate on claims.
I'll second. Oh, do we have to, did somebody make a motion?
I guess I made a motion, I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Do you want a second?
I can second that.
All right, sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
So do we want to go, sorry.